287-0971. Call the office at 572-0383 or 572-0215. REV-UP St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Harddrive is next, brought to you with the compliments of Rambali's Funeral Parlor.
At Rambali's Funeral Parlor, we strive to bring you and your family the highest level of comfort, absolute satisfaction, and peace of mind during your most sorrowful time of need.
Our professional standards and quality services are second to none. We offer ground burials, burials at sea, cremations, and embalming, fine locally made coffins, internationally made caskets, 24-hour emergency, shipping and receiving the deceased to and from overseas.
Rambali's signature funeral package includes a casket or coffin collection, refrigeration and preparation of the body, hearse services, 100 funeral leaflets, 12 memorial buttons, 6 keyrings, 10 corsages, and 1 framed photo.
Rambali's Funeral Parlor, Calvary Road, Castries, and Lartuni, Beaufort. For more information, please call 758-452-2021 or 758-454-9239.
Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good night to our listeners and our viewers in St. Lucia and across the globe, especially those of you checking us out online, also on Facebook, also on YouTube, and also on X, and also on DBS Television. Welcome to Harddrive for today, Tuesday, the 24th of March. The co-host of the show, none other than the lovely Lady J. Lady J, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Andre. How are you? I'm doing pretty good.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm well.
Mm-hmm. So I walked this morning, Andre.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, a bit humid this morning, but
yes, that's
it
true.
was nice.
That's true. It was a little humid. That is true.
I got a sweat.
I hope that's not the beginning of the heat that was prophesized to affect St. Lucia. I hope that's not the beginning, because I was really enjoying those cool nights and cool mornings.
Still enjoying it. It was still, the sun was not very bright this morning. It was just humid. So, I got a sweat from head to toe this morning, although I was moving fast because, I have to get back home to get here. And
so what time do you start your walk?
Like about 6:30, 25 to 7. I wait for light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wait for light. Even if I'm up 5:30, because with mom here now at the house now, I cannot sleep until 6. Sometimes I'm up 4:45, even 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
To check on her.
But honestly, let me just say bravo to you, for being there for your mom.
Oh.
That's something. I know most St. Lucians are like that. I think I can safely say most of us are like that with our parents. Now, I don't really get a chance to meet a lot of people who are in that position. So I meet you, I know you. So I'm saying bravo to you and bravo to all the others who make those. And I don't want to say it's a sacrifice, right? Because it's just love.
Yeah.
You just love this person and you want them to feel happy and
they have
cared for.
Less years
and
ahead.
loved. Exactly. And that it takes sacrifice. Now I'm not saying because I don't want to say you sacrificing for your parents, but it does take a certain level of sacrifice.
Because they say it to us too.
Yeah,
they sacrifice for us.
Well,
so we can say too, Andre.
Yeah.
Some of them have to stop work to take care of us.
To me, the only people who are supposed to be sacrificing for people who are not our family. You know your family, people who are not close to you. People who are your girlfriends, your boyfriends, these are the people you sacrifice for, because you really have to go out of your way to do certain things for them. But parents and brothers and sisters and those people, to me, it's just all part of an obligation that we have. Right? Maybe I should use the word obligation to be there for those people when they need us. And I would say it's like you're sacrificing to do that. Yeah, that's just my little take.
It's a strong word, but still, some people see it that way. Well, it's both my sister and I. I mean, I do have a brother, and those who know my brother, my first brother, not the first in the family, but my first brother, he's coming down. He's going to be here.
Oh,
he's going to be here next week. Andre, he hasn't been here 17 years. 2009, when my dad passed away,
it's the last
he
time.
came down for the funeral.
Wow.
But when Collis passed, he couldn't make it. He was just so distraught, so hurt, so he didn't make it. So it's time for him to come now, because Mom is 93. You need to
It's
come.
about time.
Yeah,
It's about time. I
You need
agree.
to come.
I
So
agree.
he's coming in. So those who know him, he'll be here just for a few days, but he'll be here over the Easter holiday. Yeah.
And it's not that sometimes they don't want to come. It's just that you just get bogged down in things. You just get so bogged down in things that you aren't able to leave when you'd like to leave. That's the thing.
That if it is because you're not coming for a particular reason. In this case, he's coming for Mom. But other times, I think they want to go to other parts of the world. Because
That
it's
too.
pretty
That too.
expensive coming in here, Andre.
That too.
When you can go to Asia cheaper, etc. So they do that. I mean, he would do that. See other countries before. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was in the States, man, I longed to come back home.
Yeah, you keep.
Yeah, I long to come back home. I couldn't be away from my family for too long. And
Was it
I still feel the same way. I mean, right now, my kids are fairly grown and everything, so it's a little easier. But the little one, Nairobi, I mean, she's on my case all the time, right? And I understand how she feels, so I have to do something about it, which I will do soon.
Yes, but Andre, also it's because of how you made her feel. Because if you didn't make her feel that way, she wouldn't even think there's a daddy.
That is true. That's true.
It would only be a mom. So it's how we make the kids feel,
And
the love we give them.
That is true. And we're talking kind of similar subject here this morning. I was saying about it entails to be a real parent. And it entails a lot. It's hard work, sacrifice, and so on. It's a hard work. When I say sacrifice, I mean sacrificing yourself, okay? Things that you would like, for example, I think a caller spoke about it. You tired, and your wife she just recently had a baby, and she's tired, and you're supposed to be, when that child is up, the little babies are awake during the day, they're sleeping, and then at night now that's when they're up.
Some. No, I wouldn't say all.
Well, no, I didn't say. I'm
Some
just saying,
babies
yeah.
sleep. Some babies sleep very short. There is no I sleep all day or I sleep all night.
Yeah, but
They
for
sleep
those
short.
babies that are up at nights, late at nights,
The majority.
early morning, you understand?
It's hard.
So the father now has to be there and to assist and help. I'm saying, if you're really serious about parenting, that's all part of it. That's
Yeah.
all part of it,
Yeah.
right? So
I believe so.
Yeah, so-
they should. I understand.
me ask you-
It's difficult for them because they're not breastfeeding.
Let me ask you-
especially if the child is breastfeeding.
because the subject this morning was about having children and meeting somebody, and the person makes it clear to you that they don't want any children. Were you like that? Did you not want to have any children, or you wanted to and just one maybe? What was it for you?
To be honest, growing up, because my home had 6, I was I don't want any, because there was 6 of us, so it was a lot in the house for me. I'm not saying that I wouldn't like it if I have to be reborn again, but at the time, so it did cross my mind that I don't think I want any. It did cross my mind.
Okay.
But then when I met my hubby and we were just talking, he always said he wanted 1 or 2, meaning from me, right? And it took a while. We were going for 10 years before.
So when he had that conversation with you, did you tell him how you felt, that you don't really
I did.
want any?
Of course, Andre.
And
I
how
told
did
him-
he react to it?
No, there's no getting upset or anything. It's a conversation we're having. We're knowing each other. We're getting to know each other. So it's a conversation. So he asked the question as to why. Why would I say that? Why don't I want to have a child? Things like that. Now remember,
What did you say?
before I say that, let me just say something to you. When I met him and we were talking, he was one that says he don't want to get married. Andre. So I had to throw that back on him and say, hey, I ain't, and I use the word ain't, I ain't having no child if I'm not married.
All right, I get you.
Got it.
So
Right.
let's take a little pin there. So when he told you he didn't want to get married, how did you feel about that? Because I'm sure you probably wanted to, right? How did you feel about that?
wanted to, but at the same time, how would I know I would end up with him? We courting, we're going out together. Let's just see. So now we're discussing things. I mean, you want to have a child. Right now, I'm not ready to have a child. I don't think I want to. You don't want to get married. You believe in living with a woman. I mean, I grew up with a mother and father married. When I'm number 5. They were married. So I would want that same for myself. The values that I had, I wanted those same values.
So after he told you he didn't want to get married, did you want to break up the relationship at that point in time?
No, because we're talking, we're getting to know each other. So there's no breakup there. We're getting to know each other.
But that's
Andre, people
isn't that
change.
a deal maker? Isn't that a deal maker?
No, because we are talking. This is how I feel. This is how I've been feeling, but I don't know if I'm going to feel this way tomorrow.
Stick a pin right there.
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking about that this morning. We were saying that we stay in the relationship hoping that the person will change their mind.
No, but I'm getting to know him. I didn't say that. He didn't say he was in love with me yet. I didn't say that I was in love with him yet. That's just an attraction right there. That, you meet the person, you're getting to know the person. These are the calls that you get. How you doing? That's the conversation you're having. So it's not about, maybe in his mind, I'm not even his girlfriend yet. In my mind, maybe I am. Because I'm 8 years younger than he is. So maybe, that's how he's thinking, that's how I'm thinking. So over the years, of course, Andre, things changed. Marry first, make child. Said I would have one, I had one. Okay? But like I say...
So what caused him to change his mind about the marriage, getting married? What caused him to change his mind?
I never asked that. I never asked that, Andre.
You're very lucky.
I don't know if he figure out this is what I want.
You're probably one of the exceptions to the rule, because that's supposed to be like, oh my God, red flag. He doesn't want to get married. I mean, he made that clear to you. He prefers to live together. A lot of people run away at that point in time because some people want to get married.
No, but these are conversations, Andre.
I know.
Don't you have early conversations with your partner?
Yes, that's what
that
we were talking.
Doesn't mean it's concrete.
That's what we were talking about this morning. That we were saying, if you're having a conversation with somebody, the person says to you, like in my case, okay, I don't want to have any more children, and I give you my valid reasons. All right, that's no conversation to say I'm going to change my mind later. I'm very serious about what I'm saying. So to me, you're lucky, man. You're lucky. You got through that.
Girl.
I don't say no.
Young. So for me, I'm young. We're talking. We're having conversation. Andre, look at yourself now and your age now. If I'm 18 years old and I were to meet you at your age, I would understand where you're coming from. So now it would be up to me at 18, 20 to say, well, you know what? I really want a child, so maybe we would have to separate. But if I'm like, it doesn't really matter, I care for you, I want to be with you, then I will stay with you.
Okay.
Andre, at your age and me being 20.
So you're saying, albeit you want one, but I don't want one.
And it's okay.
It's okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I respect that. I respect that.
I would understand that.
I respect that.
That's why we getting to know each other. That's why we're understanding each other. And if you care for other things about the gentleman, other things about him, his value and all of those things, and you like it, Andre, because, hey, what if I decided I'm going to move to someone else, go to someone else, fall in love with somebody else, have a child or two, and my life is chaotic, he treats me bad, beats me up, all those things. I'm going to be regretting why I didn't check out this guy that wanted me without a kid and so on, Andre, for the rest of my life. Why didn't I? Yeah. So I think conversations are important.
Yes. So, and also we have to remember that there's some women who want a child.
Yeah.
Yes. So in your case, maybe it was not that important to you. No. So you could, and I totally accept that. Yeah, that's cool.
Either or, it didn't matter. I mean, he had said he would have liked 3. Andre, I only gave him 1. There was not a problem. No, there was not a problem with that. Yeah,
You only gave him 1.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I'm carrying Andre, not you.
Yes,
me.
yes.
So, again, conversation,
Okay, so before we continue, let me just take care of this house chore, the Good Friday breakfast menu that's taking place in Texas, in the Baytown community. There's the Lucian community in Baytown, Texas. The Lucian Good Friday breakfast starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. It takes place on the 3rd of April, actually Good Friday itself. So here's the menu: roast and fried bakes, mahi-mahi, saltfish, smoked herring, a salad including tomatoes, lettuce and cucumber salad, akras and cocoa tea with and also lime squash. Okay, so that's taking place in the Baytown community of Texas, USA, for the Lucian community there on the 3rd of April. All right, remember this starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. Yes, and if I know where I can get a breakfast like that here in St. Lucia on Good Friday, I will go check it out, man. You said you said you know some people, right?
I had to tell you. Yes, I'll double check to see if they're going to be open this Good Friday.
Yeah, because I
Let me
find
double check.
we're too solemn on that day. We're too solemn, right? And too solemn. We're forgetting that Jesus Christ came to die. Yes, that's true. That is true. But he also came to save us, and that's the thing that's the most important message of Good Friday. That he came to save us and to give us a better opportunity for those who believe. I always have to put a little caveat inside there. We can have eternal life. So we should be celebrating that moment, not necessarily being all. You can't play this, you can't play that, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't go here, you can't do this is closed, that is closed. You can't even have an ad promoting a dance on that day. You know that, eh?
Yeah, I don't know if you are going to do that, but I know at the other station that I worked at, we were not allowed to do it.
Yes.
So Andre, this is your station.
Yes, I don't have a choice. The church is very, very powerful. You know.
So now you're talking.
Very, very powerful.
It is from us being 90% Catholic.
Yeah. So we can't. So we have to respect that. Well, folks. By the way, Lady J brought me some coconut water. Yeah, very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Lady J. Thanks for thinking of me.
Oh yes, Andre.
I appreciate
when I'm walking now and again, I'm not thinking of you for anything else but on the walk.
You see, I tell you, she always has to explain. Always has to explain.
Well, because other people tend to, take your words and switch it around.
She bring a gift for Andre.
You know?
Coconut water.
It's only coconut water. Yeah. Yes, because I actually bought home for Mom, so gave her some. And, it was... Actually, let me say hello to Wayne and Sophie, because they had the conversation about you when I was getting the water. And I said, I'm going to take one for Andre, thinking that they're going to say, give him one. Our.
I'm never that fortunate.
I hope they're hearing that.
I'm never that fortunate. Yes.
I thought they were going to say, give him one. I'll give you one for him.
Yeah.
But
I think sometimes people even charge me more. Because of who I am. Of course that happens. Yeah, they charge
you
more.
It's a set price for whatever it is. So you'd have to be going somewhere where they don't. I don't like going places where they don't advertise their prices. Just like the salons. I hate that. The salons don't advertise their prices. And I always think they're charging based on who is there.
Exactly. Well, I don't know about the salons, but there are people, for example, who come and they do a job for you. Okay? They do a job for you at your home. It could be whatever the job may be. Yeah. And simply because of who you are, they charge based on who you are.
True.
Oh, yes.
But you ain't coming to my home until you give me an idea of how much you're going to charge. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they'll give you the idea because they already know, what they're going to charge you, right? It's true. It's true. There are people who will charge the white man much more in St. Lucia. For example, say a coconut is, say a bottle of coconut water is $10, right? 10 EC. They will tell the white man 10 US.
Yeah, so that's $1 for Andre. Nothing wrong in that. Nothing wrong in that, Andre, because $10 is $10 for you wherever you are.
Really?
Yeah? Yes, $10 US for us would be the $26.50 or whatever it is.
Yeah, but they would charge us 26 something. They wouldn't charge us that. The locals. Charge us
the same.
But I'm saying the point I make is that they will charge the visitor $10 US.
It depends if he's there by himself, because if we're around, they'll charge $10. They'll charge anything. But this is not $10 by the way. This is $6.
I remember when Vanessa first came back to St. Lucia, she was giving me a little story. She went to the market, okay, and she came with a British accent.
Yes.
So Vanessa, they're going whatever. She was
and she losing it already, huh?
Losing it?
There's only a little. Yeah, I find it was stronger then.
To me, Vanessa,
she's been here a while, so she's losing it actually.
By the way, her birthday actually is this coming Thursday.
Yeah. Hi, Vanessa. Yeah, she's
so
according to you, she's what's it?
A wonderful human being.
A wonderful human being.
Yeah. So she's there speaking with this heavy British accent, and of course the person pick up on that thing. They charge her more money.
What'd she say?
She dropped some Creole in the skin.
There you go. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. That's exactly what. And it's wrong, Andre. It's wrong.
Oh, okay. You agree with me now?
No, I do agree with you, but I have worked in the hotel industry, so I understand why some people would switch it. If it is $10, instead of saying 10 EC, you just tell them $10.
10 US,
so they think it is 10 US, and you accept it, you know.
All right.
Finish with that, yeah. So
Okay.
Andre, I also want to say, I forgot to say that yesterday on Sunday with the pastor, because on a Sunday he's pastor, he's not doctor. Phil and wife Clarissa. What is the name of the service on the station from 10?
The Unprecedented Jesus?
Unprecedented Jesus. I had the radio on, well, her phone, my mom's cell on from early morning listening to REV-UP St. Lucia. I didn't want to be late. So I put it on very early, maybe around 5:30 in the morning because I was
Why
up
did you
early.
want to listen?
Because I told him that my mom likes this sort of thing.
Okay.
And my mom knows the Bible very well. She's very religious and so on. So I told him that, and he said the week before he had sent her a shout out. But we missed it. We listened, but we missed it because of the time that I got in. So I said, this time I'm going to put it on REV-UP from very early in the morning. And like 5 minutes before 8, I'm going to tell her, hey, you need to listen now because it starts at 8. Sure enough, it started at 8. And shortly after he came on, he
give a shout out?
Yes, Andre. My mom was like, she although I told her, she wasn't thinking. And her whole face changed. She was happy. And then she started asking me again who it was. And guess what she says? I want to go to their church.
Imagine that.
So I have to make sure, I have to find out where it is in the sense of if it is on the flat, you know, because stairs is a problem, you know. She can walk in case people think she can't, but, you know, she has a stick that she needs the assistance because she's not all that, as we say, she's not all that steady. You know, at 93, it's hard, you know.
So you'll be paying Pastor Phil
So
a
on
visit.
Thursday when they come in, I want to talk to him about that and thank him as well because she told me to thank him very much. But she was so happy when she heard her name, senior citizen, and she was the only name he called out. So that's why she felt so blessed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So thank you.
Okay. Don't forget to check out Stilton for her rubs.
Oh yeah.
I hope she had a good day yesterday.
Oh yeah, in town.
Because she said she was going to be in the city, and I think she gave her location. So I hope she did all right. So just in case you didn't see her yesterday, you can still call her at 716-8018, 716-8018. Once again, 716-8018. Check out Stilton for her famous rubs. All right? Okay. Can we get into other matters now, or there's something else you need to tell us about?
No, Andre.
All right. Well, good.
Well, we had to correct the CIP yesterday. I think you wanted to know how long it would take for one to get the citizenship.
Oh yeah,
if
remember
they
you
applied
were
for
asking
it.
about that yesterday.
Right. So I called someone, and yes, it could take as little as 3 months.
After applying?
After applying, but Andre, due diligence as always. So depending on that, it could take 6 months and it could take longer.
Yes.
So if everything is in place, it could take as little as 3 months.
3 months.
And then remember, I did talk also about, or we did talk not about CIP, but citizenship. I think people on Facebook got it wrong because we broaden things when we talk here. We don't stick to exactly what we say once we move on. And so I asked the question because remember, both my husband and I are St. Lucians, and we had a child overseas. That child didn't get citizenship from the country. We had to apply for citizenship here for her. So it's born in one, citizen of another. So I asked for St. Lucia if it was the reverse. If two people came to St. Lucia that were not St. Lucians, would that child be a citizen or as we say, baptized, you know? And birthright, it's true. They would get birthright immediately.
Okay.
Unlike in Asia, you don't. You've got to probably live there for 7 years. Maybe after 7 years, she would have gotten citizenship, right? And also understood, I'm not sure because you like the white man, the gold man head, Mr. T. He is trying to do that same thing, Andre, if we've heard. Trump is trying to do the same thing. So if you are not born in the U.S. and you have a child, he's trying to get it by law that child will not be an American citizen. So he's pushing for that.
Yeah, well, you know how he rolls already. Yeah. So the other question that came up was how the authorities, those are the CIP unit, plan to have those applicants sort of I don't know, more have some interest.
Yeah.
Some
yes,
interest
I asked that question.
in the country.
Thanks for telling me that. So that was also part of what they want to do, which would be maybe invest by getting a piece of land, opening a business. They want to start somewhere. So at least those people would invest in some way or another in St. Lucia, apart from wanting to get the citizenship. Yeah. So that sounds good, Andre.
Yes, that can only be done to the betterment of the country.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Especially if they want to open a business or buy property or whatever the case may be.
Right, all of the above. So they're looking into that, and I guess eventually we will find out what exactly the terms are, etc., etc.
Yeah, but there's always a catch in everything. So I hope, again, due diligence, that they're very, very careful as to how they proceed with this new aspect of the Citizenship by Investment program.
Because I remember reading a long time when I was at the other station, Andre, in another island, I will leave out the name, where this Asian man paid them $250,000 to start the process, only to find out that he was denied and he was fighting for the money. So I also want to know how that works out. If they're supposed to deposit, I didn't ask those questions, but that's something else we can look into.
Okay.
If they're supposed to deposit first, and if they don't succeed, do they get that money?
Yeah. Do they forfeit the investment?
Yeah. So that's something that we need to follow up on again.
Okay, so let's talk about crime, because it is when I say crime, more violence, gun-related violence in St. Lucia. We read the story yesterday about 2 people being shot and killed in the Bexon area, and we heard from the mother of one of the victims. So I just like to play the 2 clips this morning from this lady who was talking about her relationship with this young man. I think he was 22 years old, I believe 22, somewhere around him. Not too sure, but don't quote me on that one, folks. Okay? She's talking about her relationship with this guy. His name is James. I didn't get a last name or anything, but he seemed to be called James. So let's just listen to the 2 clips. I'll play them back to back, so it sounds like one from the mother of this victim to gun violence.
I came from church. He was lying down on his bed on his phone. I said, "Hi, James." I said, "How are you doing, my son?" He said, "I'm fine, Mommy." So I said, "Everything good with you?" He said, "We're everything good." So I went to my room. He stayed on his phone. And then after a while, he said, "Mommy, I'm going out for a lime." So I said, "Okay." He said, "Take care." And that was the last time I saw him alive. He loved his mother. He loved me. He would always come and say, "Hi, Mommy. How are you doing?" He would hug me. Nothing was ever too big for him to do for me. Whenever I wanted something done, I would say, "Jamie." I would call him Jamie, not James. I would say, "Jamie, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me?" He'd say, "Okay, Mommy." And when I came back from work, it would be done. I thank God for the 21 years he gave me James, because he was a loving boy.
That just echoes the feelings, sentiments of a lot of parents who lose their children to gun violence. There's scores and scores and scores of these mothers, and you hear more of the mothers than the fathers. You do hear from the fathers sometimes, but more so, maybe 98% of the time, usually from the mothers. So this is the sort of thing that those individuals who perpetrate those crimes, that's what they leave in their wake. Okay, I'm not saying that there are not issues with the young men. Sometimes we don't know all the circumstances, because things don't happen just so. There's always a reason for something. We don't know all the dynamics, right? But nonetheless, we do not have the right to take the law into our own hands. Now, I know you look at it from the perspective of what the man's law said. Well, let me give it to you from the perspective of what God says. God's word is very clear. Again, that's for those who believe. He says, vengeance belongs to me. I will repay. That's what he says. Vengeance belongs to me, meaning I'm quoting the scripture, I will repay. So our problem is that we don't believe that. We believe that the person will get away with something, all right? Or that we don't have the patience for it. We don't have the patience. And we just decide now to take matters into our own hands. But when we do that, basically you're taking on a profession that God says, this is mine. You can't come and take my job. That's for me to do. So in other words, you're putting yourself there in a sort of greater position than Jehovah. That's what you're saying to him. So these young men, or whoever is involved in that, maybe young women in the background, we don't know. You're not very smart. You're not very smart. You are probably young, inexperienced, and you do not understand the way that life works. There are people who have the patience and wait, and you'll hear the stories. And that's the thing, maybe we need more of those stories. When people come and tell you what happened 5 years after, 10 years after, whatever the case may be, maybe we need to hear more of these stories. And God is going to deal with those individuals. So now when you come now and you take on that responsibility, God now has to deal with you.
Yeah, well, I think...
And that's what they don't like. That part they don't like, because generally you don't end up very well. You do not end up very well. You know, there's sorry, but I'm just telling you from what I read. There was in the book of, I think it was Judges, there was a gang. And that gang was led by a certain individual. And these fellas got together to go and do a particular thing, which involved killing his own family, his own brothers. And the Bible tells you exactly how he ended. It was brutal. You're talking about 70 brothers that he had, 70. And he murdered all of them. And when the time came, the Bible tells you something very interesting. Those same fellas you see that was there working together, God said he made them turn against each other. So you see direct involvement of God. He actually, I don't know, I mean, that's not for me to know. Okay. He said, God turned them against each other. And this is very, very important. So when the time comes, God will do what he has to do. And these fellas ended up turning on each other, and he died in a bad way. That's it, that same individual. In fact, he died in a way similar to how he killed his brothers.
Well, that goes back to what you just said. But Andre, I think in St. Lucia, where that is concerned of you saying that we don't hear anything, and sometimes after 5 years, I think it's because we don't have any investigative reporters. We don't. You have a reporter who reports now, but that reporter don't go back 3 months later, whether it's to the police force or to the family, to find out any word from the lawyer, the police, blah, blah, blah. We don't have that here. But in other countries, they do. That's part of reporting, you know. So that's something that, you know, we need to look into. So when we employing our reporters, maybe we can say that I need you 50% of your 100% would be, you know, to investigate.
Yes.
You know?
And sadly, sometimes when I don't know, God does what he has to do, sadly sometimes innocent people pass in that as well. Yeah, your children and so on.
Yeah,
as a result of your actions.
That's right. And that's sad. But Andre, again, in terms of, I mean, I really feel for this mother. You know, she's sad because for all mothers, generally, I would say maybe 90-95% of mothers really care and love their kids. I don't want to go lower than that, but it might be lower. But Andre, we must understand that sometimes the kids live a double life. They come home as the beautiful daughter, the beautiful son, and then out there when they're friends or whatever. And sometimes we really don't know. Yes, there are mothers who know, but there are mothers who don't know that life that you live or that you are portraying. They don't know that life, you know. So when we come out, some of us, and say, oh, they know well, because they always come out and say, my son was a good boy. No, to her son was a good boy. She's not wrong, because to her, he is, to Andre, your 3 children are the most beautiful in your mind. Your son is the prince, right? And he is above everyone else. That's how I feel. So what you expect, how you expect the mother to feel? If she's aware, I think, of knowing that her son is a drug man, a killer, a this or that, I don't think these words of my son was a good boy should come out there without saying my son was a good boy to me. He treated me, operative word there, me. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the only hurtful thing when this happens.
And you're right, Lady J, because as you said, they don't act bad in the presence of their mothers. They have respect for them, and they will act nicely. So this is what she knows.
Yeah.
She doesn't know him to be a bad boy.
No.
You understand? So,
treats her well, does what she wants, and most of them, you know, do that. And it's just a sad thing, Andre. It's really sad.
And let me just show you how this thing plays out. There's a story I read from Trinidad. Kind of similar story, but this time it involved three young men. One was 17. He just celebrated his 17th birthday on the 18th of March. So he turned 17 this month. There's another one, 22, and another 21. So they were all at a particular residence at a particular time, about minutes to 3 in the morning. That was Monday morning, minutes to 3. When I think they said his girlfriend was upstairs, in a room upstairs, she heard the shots. So she came down to check and to see what was going on. When she came downstairs, she saw her boyfriend as the 18-year-old. His body, of course, riddled with bullets. The other two, same thing. I think they say one was covered in a sheet or whatever, you know, maybe whatever he was trying to do to cover himself at the time. You know, at that time you're desperate. You'll do almost anything.
17 you said.
Yes.
I think you said 18. I think you said 17.
Say again?
I think it's 17 you said. Not 17? 17-year-old, not 18.
No, he celebrated his birthday on the 18th of March.
18th of March.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he turned 17 on the 18th of March.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So the other one is 22 and the other one 21. Now, hear that. That boy, his father was a gang leader. Okay? His father was a gang leader, and his mother is serving time in prison. Okay? Everything just goes wrong. Everything just goes wrong. Now, maybe the boy wasn't involved in anything untoward. Maybe. I don't know. But when we take those actions, and with the passage of time, we don't have any control over the consequences of those actions. And that's the sort of thing I tell you these young fellas need to hear. Right? Maybe they may not listen, but at least they can say somebody didn't say it to me. That's the sort of thing that happens. We don't get away, because as a gang leader, that means the father must have been involved in untoward things, because you're a gang leader. That's how the gangs operate.
But Andre, not all, because some of them will get their some of them will get their children, or their children will get involved in it as well. But some of the children decide, this is not the life I want to live. My parents live that life and I don't want to live it.
I'm not talking about the children.
No, I'm speaking in general.
Yeah, I'm saying the father,
of course,
was a gang leader.
Yes, and I'm going further to say that some families, that doesn't necessarily mean the children will follow, because what we saw there, what you just read there, is that whoever came in, one person, 20 people, and shot these 3 people in the house. So you're relating it with the possibility of the father being into whatever, unsavory things.
Yes.
Let's put it that way. Right. So I'm saying, you know, moving away from not everything being negative, and saying that not all the children grow up to follow negativity from their parents.
And I understand that, no problem. But that doesn't mean that they cannot become the victim
because
of the violence perpetrated probably by their parents.
By the parents, yes, Andrew.
Okay.
Yeah, can happen.
So that's what I'm talking about. The pain and the hurt and the pain that we bring. Because why? Because we are bringing hurt, and when we commit those acts, we bring pain and hurt on this mother, for example. Right? So you can't escape with that. At some point, you're going to have to pay. And sometimes, unfortunately, it involves your loved ones.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and they may be totally disconnected from that. I read these stories all the time where fellas come out for you, they don't see you, they take the next best thing, which could be your child, your little child. We read these stories all the time.
That's pretty sad. Yeah.
All the time. Now, I want to link that to something I read this morning about a priest who was using his influence to do good. His name is Father Flanagan, and it looks as though Pope Leo will announce him as a saint because of what he did.
Okay.
This gentleman, this priest, he took on homeless men and so on, and he built a home for the homeless. And next thing you know, that place there was jam-packed with young men because they leaving their home for whatever reason. They're going for a rough time, a tough time. Okay? And he said something very, very interesting, which they say up to today, it is on his tombstone. That's his famous quote. And he died in 1948 at the age of 61. Right? And then, of course, he was buried. So his tomb displays one of his most famous quotations. And here it is. There are no bad boys. There is only bad environment, bad example, bad thinking.
Of course. I believe that. You think a child is born to hate black or to hate white?
Exactly.
Not at all.
Exactly.
Not at all. Parents do that. Or the environment. He's so right. It is true, Andre.
So, that could be the missing factor in all of that. The whole parenting issue, although it's not the only thing. But we the parents, we have a huge responsibility to bring up the children in a proper way, in a right way. We have a huge responsibility.
And it could be hard depending on where you live. I mean, finances can be hard and whatever, but you have to try. You really have to try. You know, give love.
You have to try.
Because a lot of them, that's what they're lacking. And so if the love is, come, let's become friends, join my gang, they look at it as love, even if it is a negative thing. But actually, they feel people care.
But it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I've watched some of them already. When you drive past, and you know the fellas in the little gangs and so on, and you see the way they interact with each other. The guys are hugging each other. The guys are having their arms around each other's necks and so on. I've seen that already.
Even if a knife or a gun in their hand.
Yes, they're very warm.
That's comfort for them.
And caring, and they check for each other. You hear, I think there was a song, a rap song. I must play one of these days, about, he says, my homies. I think so, my homies. And he was saying, if anything happened to y'all, right, just call me. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
If anything happened to y'all, anything happened to you, just call me. I'm on my way. And that should really be the role that we, the parents, ought to be playing. That once those children need you, that you're there for them. I gave a story one time, and I remember I was giving that story to a female. I told her that Hassani came to St. Lucia. Sorry, folks, if you've heard the story already. Hassani came to St. Lucia, and he came with his lady, and he asked me if I can give him a ride down to Labrie. Okay? Now, I had worked that morning already, as I normally do, about 100, and I said, no problem, I'll take you down there, no problem, right? It was a Sunday, and I think the following day was a holiday, right? So I took him down to Labrie, and he said to me, I said, how are you getting back up? He said, he has a ride, the guy who invited him will give him a ride back to the city. So I said, okay, fine, no problem. So I left him in Labrie, and I drove back up to the city, went back to my home to go and take my rest, right?
It's a long drive, Andre?
Exactly. So while I'm there resting, I'm hearing my phone ringing, and I'm checking to see, I see Sassani calling me. Dad, sorry, the guy who was supposed to give me a ride home, he's full. He has no room for me and the lady. Okay, so can you come pick me up? Okay? And I said, no problem. Yes.
Really, Andre?
Yes. I left my home, went back down to Labrie, drove back down and drove back up. I never showed him I was angry or anything. I did it for two reasons. Number one, I love him. I don't want to put him or know that he may be in danger or something. And for him, I'm thinking of my son. It's a Sunday, highly unlikely to get a ride to get back to the city. Okay, and if I leave him there, now he has to fend for himself. What will he think of me? And what will the girlfriend think of me? Right, as a father. So I did that for him, right, out of love. And number two, for the girl to realize that boy is loved.
And he's taught values. Because you're not changing your mind on anything.
Okay.
Andre, I don't know if I would...
Now, hold on. I'm glad you're going to say that. I was telling a lady about what I did. And the lady said to me, had that been her child's father, he would never go. Now, I think you're about to say the same thing. Let me hear you.
No. I was saying if it was me, I'm not sure. Because I'm the sort of person that would probably say, I'll stay here. Meaning I'll stay in Labrie. You know, that would be me.
Yeah, but remember, he's
no, he says he's going to get a ride, but I want to be sure that he's going to get a ride. So that's me. I'm the sort of person that would say it is too far to drive in case you don't get a ride and I have to come back. I'm that sort of person. So I'm going to stay in the area. I'm going to stay. Andre, I'll find something to do.
Oh, okay.
I'll stay.
All right.
I would stay. That's me.
Famwe. I was tired.
That's too much of a long drive. Go down, come back up.
I worked the morning. I'm tired. I went to take my sleep. Right, so I wouldn't stay there. But the point I'm making is that I love him.
Yes, and that's number one.
I love him, and I will do what I have to do for him. And I think that's what folks. Without putting myself on some kind of pedestal, that's not what I'm saying that for.
No. Right? That's a father should do that.
We need to make the children feel that they are loved.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll give you more claps for, Andre. The fact that when you got there, you told him nothing.
No, I said nothing. I didn't complain. I didn't say anything. Yes.
Get him. How is it?
Yeah.
You know? Come. Now listen, in terms of hubby, I will not say he would. I will not say he wouldn't, but I'll give you a little scenario. When I came in, after being away for a couple of months, I went and, Lime in the U.S. with my friends, came back in, and I was supposed to come in on the Sunday, and I changed to come in on the Saturday. My daughter knew, he knew. But apparently he didn't read when I changed the flight. And she thought he knew when she called him to tell him that mom is coming in on the Sunday and she's going to pick me up. And he says, no, he's going to pick me up. Not on the Sunday, on the Saturday. So there was a issue there. He think I'm coming in on Sunday still. She knows I'm coming on Saturday. Wires got crossed. Andre, I arrive at the airport calling because nobody is there. Usually you see them. She says, he's picking you up. I say, but he's not there. She calls him, calls me back. Oh, we got our wires crossed. He thought you were coming on Sunday. He tells me, take a taxi. I said, I'm not taking no taxi. You come and pick me up. Andre, he came.
There was a series called Who's the Boss?
He came. I'll tell you why, Andre. Just like, it's not being bossy or anything. I was just not in the mood to take a taxi because I was a little tired and I just didn't want to be on a taxi. I wanted to be with my family. It's a long drive and I wanted to be with my family. I didn't want to take any taxi. I stayed at the airport, used my phone, busied myself, and sat there maybe for 2 hours. Who knows how long the drive took. Yep. But he came.
Yes, exactly. So that's what love is supposed to do. So let me give you two more examples before we have the shout-outs. Two more examples of love, all right? First one is my friend, Dr. Almas McDowell, right? Dr. McDowell came to a dance I had up north. I often talk about those things, and funny enough, whenever I talk about those things, nobody tells him. Because I said, Doc, I said some nice things about you today. He said, nobody said anything. That's just the way we are. So I'll say it anyway.
Yeah.
So, I was there playing, and Dr. McDowell, he always offers to buy me a drink. No matter what. Andre, can I buy you anything? Okay? And if I ask him for water, he'll get me the water. That's just the way he is. Some people don't even bring the water for you, They ask you what you want. You tell them, can I get some water, please? They don't bring the water. So he brings the water if I ask him for that. Anyway, so there were so many people at the dance that night that I think the water finished. Very, very early. Water was done.
Okay.
And he asked me what I want. I said, can I get some water, please? So he came back and he said to me, all the water is done. I said, well, that's all right. That's okay. And I mean, I'll manage. No problem.
Right.
So I didn't see him. I thought maybe he had left or something. Probably forgot to say goodbye. And about a good half hour, 45 minutes later, I seen Dr. McDowell come in with 2 bottles of water in his hand. I said, Doc, where'd you get that? He said to me, boy, Andre, I had to go all the way back to the city to get that. Yes. He had to go all the way to the city because I was up north, I was playing. I said, Doc, you did that?
Why did he do that?
I don't know. I don't know why. Because remember, it was late. It was late in the morning. I guess probably couldn't get another place that was open and so on.
Wow.
So because that happened years ago, I said, Doc, you did that for me? Wow. Right? That made me feel so good, so special. I've never forgotten that. I'm just saying that's the sort of thing we should be doing for our children, right? Making those sacrifices. Now, my friend, Imo Jean, call her Imo, and she's probably listening. Imo, good morning to you if you're listening. Imo Jean was supposed to have done a particular thing for me, which was important to me, that I needed it done, and she was the one who was supposed to do it for me. But she called me and she said to me, I can't do it for you, Andre, because my mother died. Okay? Now, at that point now, I had to back off because you're talking about a death, and especially her mom.
Priority,
you understand? Okay, so she was really distraught and everything. So I thought that was that. Maybe probably a few hours later, I'm getting a call and she's telling me, okay, I'm calling to let you know I took care of the thing for you. I said, you serious? You did that?
Friend. That's a true friend.
You did that for me?
Yeah. Whatever it was. Because, Andre, for something like that, they may not have even called you. You would be wondering what's happening.
Yes.
So
these are the things. I'm just trying to, folks, I'm just tying this in to us. They do have some
beautiful people in this world.
Yeah, and for us and our children, our relationship with our children, it's important that we show them that I love you, right? I care about you, okay? And I have your back.
Yeah.
No matter what. I think I remember I was having a discussion with Tony.
What do you mean? Anyway, you said that.
Yeah, go ahead.
What? No. I was saying, what you mean I have your back? But you said it already. You said even if they were to get arrested,
right?
You would be there.
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yes. Oh, for sure. No matter how bad you whatever you did.
Yeah.
I mean, I will not excuse your actions.
Right.
You have to pay the price. You end up going to body lay, whatever.
Yeah.
But I will come and check on you. That's for sure.
Yeah.
There's no two ways around that one.
Yeah.
Because if I give up at that point in time, are we? Because everybody
get worse for him when he or she comes out.
Yeah, at that time, everybody already gave up on you.
Yeah.
Most people were giving up.
Yeah.
Not me. I'm not giving up on you. No matter. I will always be there. And as much as I know I don't agree with the act, right? I know you're still my son, and that's it. End of story.
Yeah. No, it's true.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's get into the shout outs.
Okay.
And folks, don't forget, coming up a little later, right? The icing on the cake.
Oh, yes, Andre. You have to say this.
I had to go and dig in the archives for that one, Yeah.
Well, I only hope that Dakota I'm seeing as number one is number one, because yesterday they were saying, yeah. So Dakota, you happen to be the first person I'm seeing here, and you saying good morning, sending 2 hearts and flowers, Andre. So I guess one each. Yeah.
Thank you, Dakota. Hope all is well with you.
Sharon Peters says, Happy Tuesday.
One of our biggest fans,
Yeah.
Sharon listens to REV-UP, I think, all
Every
day and all night.
Yeah. Too.
Seriously. And she's up early in the morning.
watching,
She tells you what you play, and she loves Lucky Dube.
Oh, really? Yes. She
and this morning
requested
I played 3 back to back.
Oh, I hope she heard all 3.
She did. She
answered
messaged me right away.
Yeah. She says, good morning, REV-UP family. And she also says, Tony.
Yes.
This time she shortened the O's.
The other day she came to the office. I think last week she came to the office because she's in St. Lucia. I don't know if she left already.
Oh, and I never got to meet her.
So she came in to say hello to Manuela, but Manuela, of course, was not there.
Yeah.
And I showed her Tony's pic, because Tony's pic is on the front desk. And I said to her, give him a shout. Usually. I said, give him a shout.
Did she?
Yes, she did.
Oh, nice. That was nice. That's nice. Nice, Sharon. Very good. So Martha's Shop says, bonjour, Mr. Andre, lovely Lady J, amazing day to you both.
Bonjour.
Wonderful day,
Martha's
everyone.
Shop. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Edward Tom says, blessed good morning, REV-UP family, listening audience. All right, Edward.
And to you too.
Madeline is watching. Yeah, Madeline is there, and she says a blessed Tuesday morning to everyone.
Yeah, Madeline.
Great day.
Hope all is well with you.
She also says, when I was young, I said I would have 12. 2 children.
12. Yes.
But I made 6, and that's it. A girl have a right to change her mind, and man too. Well, I hope the six are for the same man, based on what you're telling us there. What you're telling us is for the same person or different ones. All right, moving on. And DK says, good morning to you, the hosts, Lady J. Dupre. Is that supposed to be me? That's not my name, huh? It's Dupal.
Dupal.
Yeah.
Dupal.
So if that's supposed to be my name or somebody else, I'm not sure.
Maybe he thought he probably wanted to type Dupal and AI type Dupree.
No, Dupre. That's there. Pray.
Yes. So AI doing its own thing. So NDK, good morning, partner.
Yes.
Hope all is well. He called the show this morning, actually.
Oh, nice.
He called Love Zone.
Okay. Let me try and understand it. Good morning to you, the hosts, Lady J. Dupre, and the evergreen flourishing, the one and only Andre Paul.
Thanks a lot, partner.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he was dealing with last names as well, only that you spelled mine incorrectly. All right, Chichub says, Andre, respect that day, please.
Oh,
she's
the Good Friday. The Good Friday.
Mm-hmm.
No, but hello. So if I go and buy cocoa tea and bakes and those things on Good Friday, am I disrespecting the day?
I don't think so.
Exactly.
But I guess she's.
Have you ever bought cocoa tea on a Good Friday?
Maybe once, because most places will barely open.
Exactly. That's my point.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point.
Places, yeah.
Okay. So respecting buying cocoa tea or those kinds of things, you're not disrespecting the day at all. Mm-hmm. It's just a day. It's an ordinary day. Listen,
for some,
if somebody had to commit a crime on that day, to steal, to lie,
trust me,
to commit adultery, to fornicate, okay, all those things happen on that day, don't they, Lady J? Don't they? They happen on a Good Friday, and that's still unlawful.
Let's hope we have
illegal.
None. Yeah. Let's hope we have none. On the 3rd, it's the 3rd. Okay, what is NDK saying there? Colossians 2.82 verse 8. He says, see to it that no one takes you captive through the hollow and deceptive philosophy, which depends on human tradition and the elemental spiritual forces of this world rather than on. And it stops there. So I don't know if he's responding to something.
Most likely.
Yeah, okay. So let me move on, because he might be. Catherine McPhee says, good morning, Andre and Lady J. Good morning, Catherine. So, Andre,
yes.
She was here yesterday. She's here again today.
Medusa.
No, Andre, there's some days she's not there. So I'm just looking to see if she's there every day this week. Arthur Charles, very early, he says, hello, folks. Today is the birthday of the following persons. Mr. Leslie Lubar of New York, Susanna Phillip of Stolen Time, Mr. Herbert Fox Eugene, and teacher Agnes Angie Angelo.
Okay. Happy birthday to all of you.
All of you, yes. Happy birthday. Pius Nappy says, good morning.
Morning, Pius.
And Sills Rub says, hello, good morning, Andre and Lady J. Blessed morning to you both. And she answers to your question. It was not yesterday, I said, it's today.
Oh, today she's going on.
All right.
Okay.
Please, I'm leaving in a little while. Blessed day to you.
I swear she said yesterday she was going. No?
When she said it, I don't know if she says tomorrow. She probably just said it and we thought it was that day. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Okay, well, it's a good thing
So it's today.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be from 11 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay, so Silton will be out there with her rub. And did she say exactly where she's going to be?
No, she didn't talk about that today. Yeah, it was yesterday. Nisa says, good morning, Andre and Lady J. Sending greetings to you from the Sunshine State, Florida. All right.
Hey, Nisa. Is that a new person? No?
No.
Okay.
She's been chiming in.
Okay, Nisa.
And where are you in Florida? Okay, so how's the weather over there?
Sunshine, she told you.
Wait, from the Sunshine State.
Sunshine
so
State.
The sun is out.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Joan T. Good morning, my beautiful Lady J and Andre. Blessed Tuesday morning to both of you. My Lady J, wow, you're looking so pretty. Love you are Love you are top. Love your top. Okay. That was a little mistake. Okay, love your top. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate. My REV-UP family, good morning.
Good morning.
What I like, they do, even if they come on the platform and they greet us, they remember to greet the other persons on the platform. And that's really nice, Andre. Francis Jules says, good morning, lady. He has a G. It's a J for Jan, as in my baptismal name, Janice. And Andre. Yes, Francis. Nisa comes back and say, I agree, Lady J. Investigative journalism is lacking in St. Lucia because even sometimes when someone gets shot, they pass away days or weeks later, and this is never reported as a homicide. Yep. Joan Shalry says, blessed Tuesday morning, Andre, beautiful Lady J, and everyone listening. She sends some prayers, some hearts, and lots of kisses. She-Chub says, exactly, Lady J. She-Chub also says, sometimes they know very well what the children are involved in. Some of them.
Sometimes, yes, sometimes.
Well, she said sometimes for sure.
I have a message here from Isai Hall.
Okay.
He says that, spot on, we need love. Love's in need of love today. We speak it, but don't practice it. Great vibe this morning. All
Thank
right,
you, Isai.
Thank you, partner.
Yes. Nice.
Now, Clement Charlie Charles called me. Clement Charlie Charles, I'm on the air, my friend. Sorry about that. Now, today the icing on the cake is about him. I had to go and dig that up in the archives. So, Charlie, you listen to yourself, okay, my friend, soon.
Oh, my God.
I'll have you on.
Don't make it bad like the last one.
Yes, Clement Charlie Charles.
Madeline Alexander says, some parents know. Madeline also says, some children will follow and some will not. Yeah, it's true. Some people, some children are born to be leaders, and some are born to be followers. Sills Rub says, this morning I will be as you entering the main market, not outside, please. Jeremy Street Market. I love you all. Thanks for your support.
So where did she say she'll be? At the entrance of the market?
Yeah, the main one.
And that's on the side of Jeremy Street there? Okay, yes. All right.
Yeah.
That's a good spot, actually, Silton.
Yeah.
Very good.
Madeline says, bravo, Andre. So I guess when you were talking about your son having to drive all the way to Labrie.
Most likely.
And that's not easy, Andre. You have to go through Viewfort before you get to Labrie.
Telling me about that?
Oh, my God. That's a lot of driving. But you say you like driving, so. But bravo. I don't have sufficient bravos for you, Andre, because I don't know I would do that. Like I say, I would stay right there. I would find a friend. And Francis says, I do the same for my daughters. Passenger princess. Oh, nice.
All right.
And Joan Shalry says, I'm in agreement with Andre because if he didn't go and something had happened, it would live with him forever.
Exactly.
Bravo, Andre.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, true. So Velma is watching. Good morning, Velma. Septima says, good morning. Good morning, Septima. Nisa also says, if we all show each other this level of love, what a wonderful world this would be. Correct is right, according to Andre. Yep.
Well, we can start with our family. First, good place to start.
Exactly. Start there. And DK says, Andre, you are special to me because you, I will always say, made me feel special. You gave me a day, a moment, a time that I will never forget. When you could have said to me, make an appointment, or who are you, or I don't have that time.
He always talks about that time at REV-UP Radio 100. Yes. I did something really nice, and imagine, I don't even recall that.
Really?
I don't recall it. Yeah.
Very
He
good.
told me what I did, exactly what I did. Yeah, but at the time there, I just doing what I do normally, naturally.
Yeah,
You understand?
yeah,
I just try to be nice.
Yeah. No, you try to be nice or you are nice. Which one, Andre? Why is the try there?
Well, I mean,
You're a nice person.
I could refrain from being nice. You have to try. You have to do something. So that's what the try is all about.
Okay, Andre.
You understand?
All right. I hear you. And DK says again, good morning to my beautiful friend Kina, wherever you are. And
yes, morning,
and
Kina.
Snow, and my dear friend Lucita.
Yes, Lucita. Yeah.
Yes, Snow.
Good morning, Kina. While we're talking about Kina, hope all is well with you. I hope all is well with your little friend Snow, and that you're doing
A
well.
little friend,
and that you're
she
happy.
calls him her son.
Well, okay.
Sharon Peter says, still on island.
Oh,
AP, thanks
okay.
for the love.
Yes,
All right, so come on
she's
in.
still
We
there.
want to meet you. Well, I do.
You heard
Drama
that,
Queen.
Sharon? So, Lady J wants to meet you.
Drama Queen. Now, this one I haven't heard for a while on the platform.
Yes.
She says, good morning, REV-UP family. Good morning, Drama Queen. Yes.
Good morning, Drama Queen. Yes, she's a big fan of mine back at, again, 100. And she's still there with me. Much
Yeah,
appreciated.
I remember her.
Much appreciated.
Well, I don't know her, but I remember the name. Yeah. And DK says, my apologies, Miss Dupal. Still got it wrong with the MS. NDK, that's
AI.
okay, but you still get it wrong with the MS. It's
AI.
MRS.
That's- blame
Anyway,
AI
forget
for
it.
that.
Don't correct it. It is okay. I appreciate you. Let's forget that. Drama Queen, yes. Madeline Alexander says, oh no, Lady J. I don't know what the, oh no means 6 for 1. Okay, all right. And DK says, the hearts of men have grown cold. Some. Let's always put in some, yeah? And DK says, not try, but you are. Not try, but you are. See? Told you. I think that's it. Yeah. I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I got here.
So let's get into the
let's
WhatsApp.
check on the platform, our WhatsApp platform. Oh, we've got lots of messages. Let me take it from the time because some of them could be before that. Okay, we have a 1012. Andre, I like you and I like your show, but please, you must do your research. Andre, all right. Let's pass this.
No, why?
You want to read? Okay.
Yeah, he says we're doing
no,
research.
this is not for this time. It's actually at 9:50. Okay, so it must have been for something else. So let me read it. Yeah.
Okay.
You must do your research and don't take everything your callers, politicians, or anybody, for that matter, say at face value. This is for the previous one because this is 9:50.
I wonder what he's referring to. I wonder
I don't
what the
know,
person is
because
referring to
this
because I didn't have what's on your mind today.
Well, that's
It was the
probably-
love zone.
Maybe that was an. See, that's why when you don't answer your messages, it comes in the other
Okay,
one.
all
So
right.
that's probably another.
So maybe that has to do
Maybe
with
Friday.
something
look at
else.
Me. I'm going up. Yeah, Friday. So today, good morning, Andrea and Lady J. Lady J, was that you I saw this morning on the Moshi Road? It was me. It was me. I did walk that end. Yeah. But I don't know who it is. Let me see. Mario D. Lendre. Okay. Yeah, it was me. I walked in that direction this morning. All right. Good morning, Andrea and Lady J. I enjoyed the discussions today. Thank you for brightening up my day. That's from St. Lucia as well. Bernadette Samuel.
you.
Oh, Bernadette. Yes. She's always on. Next person says, good morning, Lady J and Andre. Lady J, you lived in Jamaica. Yes, I did. Let Andre know that in Jamaica there is local price and foreigners price. You know, I wanted to say that, but I left it out. But I wanted to say that. You are correct. Most times you pay because of your accent. That's right. No, that's Jamaica for true. It is true.
Yeah, but
the last time when I
but
commented,
the thing is, Lady J, does that make it right?
it doesn't. But
Yeah.
the majority, you see, not the majority of us do it here, but the majority of them over there do it,
Because Lady J,
and that's why she said what she said.
let's take a deeper look at it, right? So say I go to a barber shop here in St. Lucia, because if we're going to accept that, we have to accept what I'm going to say to you as well. If I go to a barber shop in St. Lucia and the barber charges me $20,
EC.
20 EC, right? 20 EC. And Mr. Shasney walks in there. Okay? I'm talking about
Either one,
Mr. Michael
the son or
Shasney,
the-
who we know is a multi-millionaire, right?
Andre, don't say those things. Anyway,
But he's a
move on.
multi-millionaire. It's
Move
not
on.
a secret.
Yeah, let's go.
So what's wrong with that? That's something to be ashamed of?
I didn't say to be ashamed. Well, then don't put the man's business out. I mean,
What do you
say,
mean?
all right, Andre, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm making a point.
Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Shasney comes there, same haircut, same barber, but the barber, because he's Mr. Shasney, the barber charges him $20.
Okay, first of all, as if I am him, I would ask, why are you charging me in US dollars? Because everything in St. Lucia is EC dollars. So he would have to give me the $53 and say $53.
No. I'm saying to you, Lady J, if we're going to go by this kind of thinking, that you have one price
but
for
I'm
locals.
sure the
hold on,
shop
hold
would
on.
know it's him.
You
I'm
have
sure the
one
shop would
price.
know it's
Hold
him.
on, hold on. This thinking about you have one price for locals, one price for a foreigner. This is not right. This is something I'm making to you.
Do it.
So
It's not
you
right,
are
Andre, but they do
judging.
it.
You are charging based on who the person is. So because the person
do
has
it.
white skin or something, you figure I'm going to charge you
Not
more.
necessarily white. As you heard, it's the accent. So you can be white, you can be black, and you have an English accent, an American accent, an Asian accent, whatever it is. But that's what it is. That's what they say. Okay, this person says, Blessed Tuesday, Lady J, Andre Paul, and everyone listening. Bravo, Andre. So everybody's giving you your bravo.
Oh, did I get in it good?
Yes, because of what you said. The love, Andre. And you gave an example of it. And Andre, even if I was closer to you, I would have given you a hug, Andre.
No, but that's not true. You say you'll come close to fellas.
Of course not. Unless, why would I? Would I come in on? If I haven't seen you for a while, okay, close enough. Yeah. Ask Andre if he's aware Tony had a son. What that doing here?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Oh, so you did have a child?
Yeah, I'm aware of it. I never met him, but I'm aware that he does have a son.
Okay, all right.
So the person didn't say why they bring
That's
that up?
all they said, and I don't know why they brought
okay,
that
well,
up.
yeah, the answer is that yes, I'm aware he has a son.
I don't know why they would bring that up just like that.
And somebody messaged me the other day, told me he has a daughter as well. Yeah, I don't.
Okay. They come in left, right, and center.
Exactly.
How come you didn't hear that before?
Exactly.
Wow. Anyway, that was not the discussion today.
But it's all right.
That person just brought that up, and we have no idea which side it came from and what. REV-UP, my brother and sister from another mother.
So you heard me, right?
I'm locked
You'll heard
on
me.
listening.
That's my response. I hope that makes you happy. Go ahead.
Let me find out who this person was.
It doesn't. That's not important.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would have just clicked the top. Janice is very pretty. ... Andre. So the person is
Telling me that you're pretty.
Maybe he knows that. But anyway, if you're telling me, then thank you. If you as the caller telling me that, thank you. Okay, she answered, Lady J, I will visit you soon. So that has to be her, Sharon Peter.
Oh, okay,
She's
wonderful,
answering on the
Sharon.
platform. Yeah. Okay, and this should be the final one. A photo there. It's just a photo of 2 cats.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Nice ones. Yeah.
Okay, Lady
The
J.
person called at 11:19. So yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay.
We good.
Let me just ask you something. Just so, we have a little 10 minutes to play with before we get into the icing on the cake. What do you see the function of a government, right? Or those who form the government, right? The human beings who form the government, and also those who form the church, those who are the leaders in the church and so on. What do you think the role of government when it comes to the people, the role of the church when it comes to the people? Well, how do you think that should be?
Which people you mean?
You,
the role
me,
of the church,
you, me.
the people? How
yes.
should they treat us?
Yeah,
I don't understand the question. I know what the question you're asking for the government. The role of the government you're asking?
Yes, number one.
When you say the church,
and
what's that one?
I'm saying the church, same thing. You have
role
a
of the
flock.
church.
You have people who are coming to your temple. Okay? Right.
So they're there to
I'm
guide
asking
us,
you. Right, exactly. What is
preach
their
correctly.
role? And I'm talking about government, meaning government ministers, right? Their
Also to
role
guide.
is to care for the people of the country,
Right.
whether it's the leadership in the church, whether it's the leadership who forms the government, right? Okay, good. All right, so we agree on that. So let me tell you what happened there in Senegal recently. They passed legislation, right? Doubling the maximum penalty for same-sex relations. So they've doubled the penalty, so if they find out that you are homosexual, you now will, because they just passed the law, you will go to jail for 10 years for being a homosexual. Now, remember, the role of the government is to serve the people, not to alienate some because of who you are. And we spoke about that earlier again. Because it's a foreigner, you can charge them what you want, and they have foreign price and those kinds of things, right? That is your responsibility as a leader in the church, a leader in government. Your responsibility is to serve the people, not to be a boss. I'm saying that because in Senegal, one of the lawmakers, the people involved, like you have the Senate and so on, listen to the language. This is somebody that's elected to serve the people, not serve some of them, elected to serve the people across the board.
Yeah.
Listen to that language.
People of the country.
And I'm quoting, folks. Homosexuals will no longer breathe in this country.
What?
Thank you very much.
But
Homosexuals...
some people can't help that.
We'll get into that in a second. Homosexuals will no longer have freedom of expression in this country. That's a lawmaker speaking like that. The people who are elected to serve the people are talking like that. Homosexuals will no longer breathe in this country. That's how you're talking? Are you a lawmaker? And you see, these people really get their lines crossed.
Andrew, we can't even make our children to tell our children, you will not be.
Exactly.
What if his own child?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, you can't. That child is born and you can't tell if that child is and will be. That's stupid.
But even more, the fact that that lawmaker can speak like that, it tells you
ignorance.
It tells you where that person is in terms of their thinking, as well as their colleagues. Because to say that kind of stuff, then to feel free enough to make that kind of comment.
And I can understand they're putting rules and regulations as to what they want from these people. Don't walk around the street, don't this, don't that. Yes, I can understand all of that. But to say you basically cannot breathe in this country, that's...
And you will not have freedom of expression in this country. So if we find out that you are homosexual, we will put you in jail for no less than 10 years for being a homosexual.
Crap talk.
And you know the thing about the self-righteousness thing? It's like we spoke earlier about the Good Friday. Okay? As what we can and cannot do. And I brought up the point. I said, okay, all right, so I can't buy cocoa tea on a Good Friday. Well, then make sure you don't commit adultery on Good Friday. Make sure you don't lie. Make sure you don't thief. Make sure, you know what I mean? Because if I can't buy cocoa tea on a Good Friday, right?
Follow all the rest.
Exactly. You understand? So when these people talk like that, I'm sure they have their sins as well. Things that they're doing. Now, you're probably wondering why I brought the church into that. I'll tell you why I brought the church into it as well. Because remember, I said they're getting the lines crossed. You all are there to serve the people. May say, the people, especially a church should be a place almost like a hospital. Have you ever spent time at a hospital, Lady J?
When I had my daughter, when I was 7 years old.
So when you go to the hospital, don't you expect to be treated well? You want the nurse to come and check on you, the doctor to come and check on you, showing you in a kind way. People even talk about bedside manners and things like that. Okay? So your role is to serve the people. That's what you're there for as a one who forms part of the government. And your role is to serve the people when you are in leadership position in the church, not to lord it over people. So I'll tell you why I say that. When Pope Francis was alive, he often had to confront these extremists in the Roman Catholic Church who believe that once you say you are married, you are not supposed to get a divorce. And if you do get a divorce and you remarry without the church's approval, and I think there's a name for it. You have to get I forgot the name that they used to. I'll get the name, I'll get the name. I'll get the name. Anyway, so, according to the rules of the church, not the Bible, the rules of the church is that you are married, you decide to get a divorce. Well, if you remarry, we are going to ostracize you. You cannot get the sacraments. You can't come for Holy Communion. The Eucharist. All the things that the church considers to be important. You cannot participate in those things. That's a jail. That's a jail. You are getting your lines crossed. I'm sorry, I have to say it as it is. Now, Pope Francis was fighting against this kind of attitude. So he wrote something, I think he called it The Joy of Love, where he was saying, right, to allow those people to receive the communion as they normally do, even if they remarried. You cannot ostracize the people because they have remarried and you figure, oh yes, the word is annulment. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Some people want that.
The church is the same thing. They are forgetting their place. Your responsibility is to act like you are a hospital. When people come inside there, you are supposed to take care of those people and to make them feel at home. Because remember, they're going for a rough time. Just like when you fall literally sick. You're going through a rough time at that particular point in time there. You know, you've gone through a divorce or whatever you're going through. You can't come now and make it worse for that individual. What do you want to ask me?
I got a little confused. Go back with this marriage thing again. Talk about that, the annulment. Go back a little step back. Yeah.
All right. In the Roman Catholic Church, if you are divorced without the church giving you its approval,
right,
and the approval comes from what they call an annulment, the church has to say, we agree that you are divorced. If the church doesn't agree that you are divorced, as far as they're concerned, you're still married.
I've heard that, yeah.
Oh, you've heard that?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you understand what I'm saying now?
But the next question is, how are they supposed to know it's me?
What do you mean?
Because you're saying you can't, when you go to the church, you will not receive any Holy Communion or whatever. How
well, remember the church is a quote-unquote small place. Huh? Everybody knows everybody's business. If the NIC is going to investigate, what more you want again? What more you want again? You understand what I'm saying? People know everybody's business. As a matter of fact, Pope Francis was saying back in the day that when he was alive, he said that a lot of the lawyers are taking advantage of those people. When those people come there, ask them for the annulment, they're charging them hototo l'argent. And Pope Francis spoke about that. He said, you need to stop that foolishness. The person at that point in time, let me make another quick point there to some of our lawyers here in St. Lucia. Somebody wants to come and get out of a marriage, and you tell him you're charging so much money?
Andre, if that's the price, some of them are higher than the other.
Listen,
some of them are lower. There is a price range.
That has to be.
Check around and see which one is the lowest price and go to that lawyer.
But
there are different rates. Not different rates, depending on the lawyer and his experience or whatever. I guess some are. But a
lawyer cannot choose to just charge whatever they want. There must be caps on those things.
I agree.
And let me say that to the government. You need to crack down on those things. The guys are charging the people thousands of dollars, thousands. You know, they want the people who I know.
Let's say some of them.
Yes, we agree. We agree on that. That they cannot even get a divorce because they can't afford it. It's so expensive. And they're taking advantage of the person's vulnerability. These things are not right. So I'm saying here to you, when you come into a church, your responsibility as a priest, as a pastor, right, is to serve the people. Don't come and make them feel like they're in a jail. That's how you're making them feel. The church is supposed to be like a hospital for sick people. But you come in there, you're making life more difficult because you want to put rules and regulations. And the Bible doesn't even talk about those things. It doesn't talk about them. Now, I know some of you don't like to hear what I'm saying there, but it is what it is.
I have a little problem with it, but I don't want to get into that. You know me. When it comes to the politics and the religion, it's too much.
Well, that's you, Lady J. That's you, Lady J.
Because, your explanation as well, it's supposed to be like a hospital where they take care of sick people. That part where you say sick people, but it's not.
So
I would give a different definition to that.
But I'm saying to you, okay, Lady J, when people come into the church, all right, with all their issues and so on, they may not literally be like sick to the point like they have cancer or something like that. That's what I'm saying. But these people are going through a rough time.
Yeah.
They're not well. They're not well.
Okay.
And they come there for solace. They come there for solace, and you're making them feel worse. Unfortunately, the people there have to go and isolate themselves because you isolating them. They need to take a real
some people leave that church and go to another.
Well, exactly. But you see, the thing I tell you, Pope Francis was trying to address that issue. He brought it up already, but there's a pushback against it, a pushback, a fight back. So now Pope Leo is saying he wants to go in that direction as well, because they realize this is not right. They shouldn't be doing that kind of thing to people. Sapa right.
Andre,
anyway.
Before you go into the icing on the cake, is it? Yes. I want to read a few of these messages.
No. We're not going back to that again.
It's a few. It's good ones.
No, we're not going back to that again.
Right.
We already passed the time for the shout-outs.
Right.
You think I'd get tired, madam?
I would go very quick.
You think I'd get tired?
Morning, Erin. Erin just chimed in. She wasn't around.
But if you do one, you have to do all. That's what you wanted to do?
There are four. No, I wanted to do from Ndiki.
Okay, right, go ahead, Lady J. Lady J thinks I'm a young man, you know. Lady J, well,
NDK. Oh, now you're not a young man. You say you want to live until you reach 100 years. The hearts of men have grown cold. I read that. So it's the next one would be not tribe. I read that one. Sharon Peter. Okay. I will visit soon, Lady J. Erin says, just got back home from a gig. saying hello. I will listen to the replay. Good morning, Lady J and Andre.
All right,
very
you're in.
nice.
All right.
Alexis Leonte says good morning to everyone. And they're saying hello to Andre. I agree. It's wrong to have a different price for locals as opposed to foreigners. D. Francis peeping through and saying hi. Yes, and sending hugs. That's all, Andre. Yeah, if I see it, because yesterday they said I didn't read
All right.
a lot.
Okay, Lady J.
So I wanted to make sure that I read every one that I saw, and I hope this is the last one. The last one, they're sending hugs.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
So can we get into the icing on the
Andre,
cake?
let's put in some laughter
now,
here.
Clement Charlie Charles was calling me earlier. Interesting, you see that? The man was calling. The man feeling a vibe. Even was feeling a vibe that something is wrong. So Clement Charlie Charles, I want to dig up in the archives to get this one. Okay, so this is Clement Charles and myself
yourself.
having
You're
a discussion.
Okay.
And what we're talking about is trusting people. Right? Trusting people.
Good one.
And Clement Charlie Charles is adamant. He's adamant, right, that he doesn't trust anyone. Anyone. And he makes his case, he makes a very, very, a very good case about not trusting people. In fact, he actually went further and he said he does not even trust himself. He doesn't even trust himself.
Well, I've heard something like that as a joke, but I don't think I can put it on telly.
Right.
I'm on the radio.
So yeah, he doesn't trust himself. He doesn't trust anyone. So let's head a conversation, all right?
All right.
Okay, so
I'm gonna drink this
Anuale.
quickly.
Yes. So this is Clement Charlie Charles and myself.
Big help for the entire world, especially the Caribbean, where these things are going to be made available so that the vaccines can be, potent and that they can do what they're supposed to be doing. So I think that's wonderful news, despite the fact that they may have some ulterior motive, as Charlie is implying. Yeah?
I'm not implying anything. I haven't said so. But I'm saying we're dealing with... No, you see, Andre, we're dealing with human beings. And people will do anything to make billions of dollars.
I wish Andre, and it's not. I wish Charlie would have that same skeptical approach to other things as well. He wouldn't limit it.
Like what? I'm not limited. When you're dealing with human beings. So let me tell you something. You see, in my life, for the few years God put me in this world, I've seen so much. We're reading about people saying, "Oh, I love you so much, darling. I'll never have nobody but you." No, but I'm just saying to you,
something is going
I love
on.
you so much, darling.
This man needs to be psychoanalyzed.
Something is going on.
As soon as you're born a plane,
Something
they know
is
you're not
going
there.
on.
Somebody else, they say the same thing too.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? You're dealing with human beings.
Charlie. That's why he says he trusts no one.
I don't trust. No, I'm not even trusting myself because I say I will do something sometimes and I go back doing the same thing. I'll trust anybody in this world. Not a single human being.
Give us one that you go back and do.
No, but you're telling me. Let me tell you.
No. Charlie, I want to hear. What's this thing that you left and you came back?
Let me tell you.
Charlie, you just said something. I'm asking you.
Already in my life.
Right.
I've been part of it doing the same thing.
Right. So what was that? What was that, Charlie? No, just give us one example.
I say to you. I mean, we have run life.
Run life.
Because you see people, you
Talk
say,
for yourself.
Me, I say, you Katya, that person will never do that.
But maybe you raise your expectations too high, Charlie.
No expectations. You're dealing with human beings. People do
So you have trustworthy human
I ain't trusting nobody.
Charlie,
If I know
Charlie, say it loud and clear. Do you trust the Prime Minister?
my friend, yes,
That's a nice one, Andre.
I remember that.
so far, I trust him. His word. He haven't. I'm gone back on his word. If he had given me his word about anything, you have to keep it.
The man just can't trust anybody, not even himself.
Andrew, behave yourself. You're terrible. So we have lots of laughter on the Facebook platform right there. Lots of it. Lots of laughter. Yes.
That was recorded years ago,
I remember
back in the days of COVID.
Yes, I remember that.
I had to go and dig up that thing in the archives.
Somebody asked where you get that. You heard it? He got it in the archives. Yes.
All right, folks.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
So, Lady J, what's coming up today?
Well, next month is autism. Well, I thought it was the week, but it's for the entire month of April. And so we'll be speaking to guests, but it won't be in studio. It will be on through the calls. So once I'm finished with her, I'm going to go and look into that. So the awareness, they want to start the awareness pretty early. And I also want to know what the percentage is in St. Lucia, because that I couldn't pull up. So I want to know a little about it as well. And the usual hit of the day, Andre, the news, entertainment report, that sort of thing, the usual happening, and lots of good music. And of course, we're asking you to send me messages. Yes, send me some love. We're all about love right here on REV-UP St. Lucia.
So the REV-UP Center is next with Lady J. She'll be with you until 3 this afternoon, from 3 o'clock until 6. Then the DJ will be here. And then from 6 until 7, God willing, I'll be back with Dr. Suraj for Doctor in the House. And there's always some pearls you can take away from Dr. Suraj. Yeah, always something important he discusses. And what I make a couple of notes, and I come and share with the listeners and viewers the following day.
Yeah.
So if you don't get a chance to watch, I'll be certainly sharing some stuff with you
Wonderful.
on Wednesday. All right?
Yeah.
Okay, so ladies, you have yourself a great show. I want to thank those of you listening online, those of you watched us on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on X, and also on DBS Television.
Yes, more importantly.
Thank you so much, and I want to again thank DBS for carrying our show. I don't take that lightly at all. I mean, enough respect, REV-UP to DBS, because they could carry any other, dozens of other shows in St. Lucia, but they chose to carry ours. So that's a privilege that I do not take lightly.
Thank you.
All righty. Okay, so this has been
good morning.
This has been Harddrive, brought to you with the compliments of Rambali's Funeral Parlor.
At Randali's Funeral Parlor, we strive to bring you and your family the highest level of comfort, absolute satisfaction, and peace of mind during your most sorrowful time of need.
Our professional standards and quality services are second to none. We offer ground burials, burials at sea, cremations, and embalming, fine locally made coffins, internationally made caskets, 24-hour emergency, shipping and receiving the deceased to and from overseas.
Ram Valley's signature funeral package includes a casket or coffin, collection, refrigeration and preparation of the body, her services, 100 funeral leaflets, 12 memorial buttons, 6 keyrings, 10 corsages, and 1 framed photo.
Ram Valley's Funeral Parlor, Calvary Road, Castries, and Lartuni, Beaufort. For more information, please call 758-452-2021 or 758-454-9239.
From coast to coast,
I would love to hear it.
we're revving up the airwaves
Are you sleeping?
on 95.9 FM, the alpha of radio.
Have you noticed behavioral changes